Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
or I guess it's evening now. I don't know, 3 minutes still. Bonnie, how much snow are you gonna get?
4 to 8.
That's not too bad. I was showing Anne Marie a picture I got from New York this afternoon. They've gotten almost 12.
Yeah, I think if I'm lucky, it's gonna go south and east of here. It's the winds that bother me more than the snow,
Mhm.
but yours is all gone, right?
We have nothing. We just had a lot of wind and a lot of high tide. The canal was all over the marsh this afternoon and across from the Daily Market.
Right.
I didn't see it across Savannah Road when I came through, but I didn't go over there, but I don't know, maybe Rob did.
I just looked at the Cape Shores beach, but I think Tim took a good look at some other places. The Cape Shores beach was taking a bad beating.
Yeah, well, whole area was, but it is February. So.
Right.
How many years ago was Jonas? That was terrible.
That was like 3 or 4. So, hello, Glenn.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. If we can get through the next 6 weeks without a major storm, we'll be pretty good. We should be pretty good. It was a mess yesterday afternoon, that's for sure. When did you come back from Virginia, Rob? Saturday?
Saturday.
Yeah, you avoided the whole thing then.
No. I just left it there and came here, and the wind and the snow and the rain and the cold. Tim told me he looked around, drove around and saw some stuff.
Oh, you were looking for high water today, Tim?
Yeah, I didn't have to look far either, or go far. Yeah, lots of evidence of high water.
We've got the cycle tonight and tomorrow morning yet to get through before it's over.
Yeah,
Apparently, so far we've been pretty lucky.
yeah. I think there's some significant damage over on the beach.
When you say damage, do you mean erosion or do you mean actual structural damage?
No, I meant erosion. I apologize. Yes, sand, movement. Yeah,
Well, it happens every year.
yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like we're all here. So it is 5 o'clock and we have a bit of a few attendees. And so it is 5 o'clock and we are here for a public hearing for Mayor and City Council on February 1st at 5. And we're here to hear 2 items this evening at 5 o'clock. First is amendment to the Lewis City Charter, Section 12, relating to the filling of a vacancy in the position of mayor or council person. We have this before us, and Glenn, do you want to talk about this, or Rob, since you were the author of many of these changes, would you like to talk about it?
Glenn, you want to take the lead on this?
Sure. So this one, I'm sorry, I have the wrong one up right now. It's kind of a, in some ways, record keeping. So the version you have that's online, there's a lengthy portion. The first few pages are not highlighted in yellow. Those were changes that have already been adopted by City Council to send on to the General Assembly. The second portion that is highlighted in yellow kind of clarifies, this is kind of housekeeping, I see it, because there are certain areas in the charter that discuss elected officials. Well, it doesn't clarify that a person who's appointed to the office is actually deemed elected. So this change would correct that deficiency in the charter to make clear that an appointed city council member is deemed elected for purposes of the charter. Anything you want to add, Councilperson Morgan?
No, that's exactly right. So it's just lines 117 and following that we're looking at tonight. And it's just the one insertion of shall be deemed to have been elected for purposes of this charter. It's the only
Right.
change. We're-
Lines 123 and 124.
Okay. Well, we are here to hear public comment, and it looks like we have 2 members of the public that are here. So, and Ellen Lorraine. Thank you, Ellen Lorraine. But if there's any comments here, we'd certainly like you to raise your hand or ask questions or comment. Okay. Looks like there's no public comment to this.
I think there's something in the chat.
I looked, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it said, Doug Spellman just typed none. So
Okay.
that means Doug doesn't have any
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah, and then Roman is also here and he has not commented, so,
He's a member of the press.
right, that's what I thought. And so it looks like we have no public comments since Doug is really the only city resident who is here. So if there's no comment to this, I think we probably then could move on to the second item, which is an amendment to the Lewis City Charter, Section 33, relating to fishing from the Delaware Bay shore. And this is a clarification of restrictions that could be placed by mayor and council on the fishing along the shore. Glenn, do you want to talk about this one?
Well, I guess I didn't look, but was this one noticed for 6 o'clock?
No, this was
No,
done.
this was
No.
noticed for 5.
Good. I just wasn't sure if we had to wait till 6. This one is also kind of a clarifying matter in that this relates to what sorts of regulation the city council can impose on fishing from the Delaware Bay shore. So the change would be on page 2 of the
Line 29.
line 29 of the charter amendment. So it goes through and says that the city of Lewis, I'm sorry, let me back up to the beginning of this sentence so we can hear it all together. It's a long sentence. So let me start at the comma then on line 26. It says, provided that nothing in this section or act shall authorize the city council to pass any ordinances to prevent any citizen of the city of Lewis or state of Delaware from fishing along said Delaware Bay shore, then what would be added is another comma and the following. Provided further, however, that the city council may restrict fishing along said Delaware Bay shore and for 300 feet from the mean high water, from the mean higher high, that needs to be corrected, from the mean
Yeah.
high water line therefrom, where in the discretion of the city council, the public health and welfare is served by so doing. So the word higher would be stricken. That's a mistake. It should be just high water line. But this clarifies that city council is able to restrict fishing along the Delaware Bay shore and for a distance of 300 feet to ensure that activity in the water can be restricted as well.
And I didn't quite hear what you were saying about mean high or high water. That is correct.
Mean higher high water line?
Yes, it's a technical term.
Huh, my mistake.
It means the average of the higher high waters for the previous 20 years.
Oh, huh, okay, thanks for that.
Okay. All right, so now we have 2 members of Lewis, 2 residents of Lewis, Bob Heffernan and Doug Spellman on. And would either of you like to comment on this? If so, if you could either raise your hand or otherwise type in something in the chat. Looks like we have a no thank you from Doug Spellman.
I have a question if it's okay.
Sure.
Sure.
It was my, can you hear me okay? My internet keeps telling me it's unstable.
Mhm.
You're
Okay,
good.
okay.
Fine.
Is my understanding the purpose of this one was again to shore up where what the charter says versus the code essentially. And in the code, it's much more specific about Pilot Point and the yacht club and all. So I guess that's my question is what we're doing here sufficient enough? Is it specific enough?
I think Councilperson Richard identified this initially. Did you want to comment on the genesis of it?
Yes, this ties back to my service on the beach parking committee, which caused me to do a deep dive into our charter and code. And it was what I identified was a discrepancy between the two. And this effort should be about just truing up, if you will, the code and the charter to be in compliance with each other, supporting each other. And that's basically how I would describe it. That's how I would describe it. It's that effort. Go ahead, Rob.
May I add a little bit?
Please.
That, Andrew, you're right that the charter is a little bit broader than the ordinance. So it does have the effect of authorizing us to pass the ordinance that in fact is already on our books.
Right.
It also goes a little bit further. We had previously had an ordinance that covered 300 feet out. This one, the current ordinance does not. But if you want to be able to worry about people who wade out in fishing gear or who come in close to the shore to fish and thus endanger bathers, then that would be something you'd want to be able to cover too. And as far as the stretch of beach, you're right. The ordinance covers a smaller stretch. This is broader. It would allow us to go further if we wanted.
So Bob Heffernan has said he's listening, he's very interested. And I see we've been joined by, I assume that's Dave Innes. It is not?
It's not Dave.
Okay.
It's, I think Elizabeth.
Is it Elizabeth? Okay. Are there any comments from Ms. Innes? If you would raise your hand or type something in the chat, that would be helpful. Just listening tonight. Okay. All right. So it looks like we have no public comments of any significance here for this, for both of these items on this agenda. So I think both of these items, we can keep this record open until noon on the 8th of February. If anyone would like to comment, submit a written comment. But other than that, I think we've had no comment here tonight, so I think we could entertain a motion to close this public hearing.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jim.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. So we have basically 45 minutes between now and the 6 o'clock hearing, and we can't begin the 6 o'clock hearing until 6 o'clock. So we can all take a little hiatus. I believe it's the same Zoom call. Is it a different one?
It's actually, it's a different Zoom. It's
Okay.
a different link. So if you
Okay.
do intend to go to that, make sure you go to that agenda.
Yeah, anybody who's on this who wants to participate in the one later at 6 o'clock, we'll log off of this one. We'll see you in about 40 minutes.
Wait, I'm a little confused. Are we supposed, the panel, I guess is what we're called. Are
Right.
we supposed to use the link we just,
No, you would have just gotten your 1 hour reminder while we've been in this. So,
So the 1 hour reminder for the next one is should be there now.
right.
got it? Got it.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. All right, so we'll
Great.
see you in about 40 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.